life. How do you keep in touch with what's happening and still maintain the really busy schedule that you have?
Well, I try to watch the news on the television and listen to it on the radio. I take several newspapers every day, and I have some associates that clip interesting stories out for me, and they give them to me. And then, of course, as you travel around the world, you meet so many interesting people who are filled with knowledge of what's happening in their part of the world, so that when people talk about Nicaragua, well, I've been to Nicaragua, and I've preached there and held a crusade in Nicaragua. Or if people talk about the Punjab, I've been to Chandigarh and the Punjab and spoken there. Or if they're talking about some other part of the world that's in the news, most of those places I've been to.
Right, so it's fairly easy for you to relate to what's happening in the news.
Yes.
Do you get up very early in the morning and sort of have a very disciplined day?
No. I think in some ways I'm a very undisciplined person. In comparison, let's say, to my wife. My wife is highly disciplined. I get up every morning about 6:30 or 7, have breakfast as soon.
That's early.
Did you count that early?
Yes.
You see, I was born and reared on a dairy farm, and we counted about 2:30 in the morning early. I usually had to get up at least by 3 o'clock, and I remember if I was not up by 3 one morning, my father took a bucket of cold water and threw it in my face. I got up quickly that morning. We had to get up to milk the cows.
So a day for you is very different, I suppose. Each day is different.
Well, it's according to where I am. If I'm at home, it's the same. I get up and have a period of devotion. I watch the news on the television. I have a bit of breakfast. My wife and I do together. Then we have prayer together. My wife and I pray and read the scriptures together. And that's when I do read my 5 Psalms and 1 chapter of Proverbs each day, is in the morning. And then I go to my work.
Can the ordinary Christian possibly do anything? I know it's like a sort of drop in the ocean, but is there anything that the ordinary Christian sitting in church can do to better the situation in the world?
Yes, I think live for Christ himself. The world is longing to see a person who really lives. Like Gandhi said. He said, if I could see a Christian, I would believe. He said that, I believe, in South Africa when he was just thrown out of a Christian church. Gandhi could have been the greatest Christian leader of all time had the church been the church. But unfortunately, some of our churches are not the church.
Yes, and this is a very confusing situation for the man in the street.
It is indeed, and this is one of the things that I hope will come out of these meetings in the Northeast, that people will see that they can make their church the true church. I asked a clergyman in America some time ago. He had moved to a big church as the minister, and I said, how do you like your church? He said, I don't know. I've only been there a year, and I haven't found the church yet. What he meant was he hasn't found that little body of believers in every church that really believe. Now, there are some churches in this country that are packed out and people are turned away at the services. There are other churches that are in sharp decline and are being closed. For example, we just came from Bristol. There's a church right in the heart of town. You can't get a seat in as you get there early. At the same time, within sight of that church, they're closing 4 other churches because nobody's attending. Now, what makes the difference? The minister preaches the gospel. He preaches the Bible. He preaches in the language of the people. He's alive. All of them are Anglican churches.
Billy, I wish I had more time to go on. I could go on talking to you for hours and hours and hours. But before we close, I think there are thousands of Christians in Britain who would like me to say thank you for your ministry to us over the years and every blessing for your continued work.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Billy.